and welcome to TrojanVision's Fall 2025 Semester in Review. I'm Paige Ray. Over the next hour, we're going to look back at our top stories from the past semester. And we start with big news. Troy Chancellor Dr. Jack Hawkins Jr. has announced plans to retire. In an email sent out just a few weeks ago, the university said Hawkins will end his role as chancellor on December 31st, 2027. He will then transition to an advisor role through the end of 2028. Now, that announcement comes over a year after Hawkins originally announced plans to retire in 2025. However, less than a month later, Hawkins said he would not be retiring after the Board of Trustees asked him to stay. Over the next few years, Troy will begin working to find its next chancellor. This semester saw Troy University roll out a new brand campaign that aims to capture what it means to be a Trojan. Students say it's giving them more pride for this school they love. Our Caden Walker has the story.
Behind me here at Veterans Memorial Stadium is one of the university's largest displays of their new campaign, Always Real, Always Troy. It's a message that students, alumni, and fans will see when they come to the Vet for Trojan Game Day. And it's just one of the many displays around campus that are bringing this campaign to life. The message was developed in partnership with Carnegie Higher Education, following research with students, faculty, alumni, and community stakeholders. We asked Leslie Scrushy, Associate Vice Chancellor for Enrollment and Marketing, what the new phrase means.
For me, Always Real is a nod to our motto that we develop a student in all ways, mind, heart, and body. And Troy gives an authentic experience to all students who arrive on our campus. We develop them in all those ways.
One part of what makes this campaign stand out is that Troy students themselves are featured as the talent for the commercials.
It's so exciting, just getting to see like real students that I've met and that I love so dearly up on banners or in the video and being like, I know that person. Our class, this generation of Troy students are leaving a legacy in hopes that, you know, in the future, it's not just like people, models or, you know, actresses and actors. It's real students.
And stay on the lookout as this new slogan will appear across campus throughout the year. From Veterans Memorial Stadium, Caden Walker, Troy, TrojanVision News.
That campaign also brought the university new marketing photos of students in action. Those photos are already being used on flyers and publication materials from all departments. Troy also released a brand anthem video as well as a series of new billboards, which can be found along the stretch of Highway 231 from Montgomery. Troy University also announced that it is launching its 5th doctoral program, this time via the College of Health Sciences and its Dothan location. It's coming at a time when healthcare workers are needed now more than ever before. Ty Davidson has more.
We are proud to introduce Troy University's newest doctoral program, the Doctorate of Chiropractic.
According to university officials, not only will Troy be just the second public university in the country to offer the Doctorate of Chiropractic, it will be the first to do so in the Southeast. The launch comes as Alabama and many other states face a healthcare shortage.
And that's everything from nurses to physicians to patient care technicians, nursing assistants, and in many cases even chiropractors. Chiropractors are essential to the healthcare team. Not only does their practice have economic implications, it has implications as far as the public health, improving the public health of all Alabamians.
The new program has drawn support from organizations including the American Chiropractic Association Board of Governors, as well as the Alabama State Board of Chiropractic. Members of those groups say support was given in part due to Troy's reputation of providing in-person experience and expert instruction.
That's what chiropractic represents, hands-on, and we learn to listen. You listen to somebody when you're standing in front of them. We can say we're listening like right now, but when it gets down to it and you can look them in the face, hands-on, that's just powerful. There's healing in that right there.
The new program now moves on for final approval from the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges. The College of Health Sciences hopes to admit its first group of students in fall 2027.
The College of Health Sciences' next step will be to hire a program director and begin creating curriculum. A student application portal is expected to open this upcoming summer. And as of this semester, Troy University is now home to a new center that aims to promote global learning. A new Korean center located in the downstairs of Hawkins Hall is where Ty Davidson takes us to.
The Janam Global K-EDU Center, also known as the K Center, is the home of Troy University's new partnership with the Jeollanam-do Office of Education in South Korea.
Korea, by its very nature, shares a belief in freedom, a belief in democracy, a belief in the free market system. Those same beliefs and values that we hold dear in America, and particularly at Troy.
Hawkins says the differences between the United States and Korea create a diverse environment built to prepare students for global success.
Too often we fear differences, but when you understand differences, then you can appreciate those differences, and those weaknesses become strengths. We want our students really to be competitive on a global scale, and I don't think you can really be globally competitive if you're not globally aware.
Dr. Win Koo, who acted as the liaison between the university and the Jeollanam-do Office of Education, believes that opportunities for exploration like those offered at the K Center are rare for American students.
The students in the U.S., they are having some types of experience with different countries, particularly the countries close to the U.S., rather than the Far East and the Asian countries.
The event was facilitated in part by the Festivals and Special Event Management class. Some of the students even showed up wearing traditional Korean dresses called hanboks. One student in particular told me about how they think experiencing other cultures is incredibly important for them.
I grew up traveling, experiencing other cultures, and I think it's the best thing that's been given to me. It opens my mind up to a lot about other people in the world.
Troy University already places a major emphasis on study abroad trips and scholarships. The opening of the K Center is another step in the direction of international expansion. Ty Davidson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Creation of the K Center started back in 2019, making it a 6-year project from start to finish. Troy's Department of World Languages and Cultures is showing off a redesign. It's also renewing its effort to encourage students to broaden their cultural horizons. Ty Davidson explains.
Kelly Suero is a lover of languages and cultures, but after becoming department chair, she realized not everyone shared her passion.
We know that maybe languages aren't something that everyone thinks about at the top of their list of what maybe I want to study.
That's why she has spent the past 8 months collaborating with not only her department, but also the Department of Art and Design to create a space that celebrates world languages and cultures.
We just want to get people in here to feel happy and like this is someplace they want to be. And also really just to know who we are.
Fonts, color schemes, favorite quotes, and images can now be found within 7 new murals that were created by students.
We all put in work for just some different graphics that we wanted to put around the office just to make it happier and brighter and more interesting.
For students.
I actually chose this quote behind us, which is so funny that you put me here. So they made them come to life. So that was really great, and they did a really good job, as you can see.
With the redesign now public, Suero hopes the rest of campus will get a glimpse into the world and culture her department has created.
This was sort of our way to say, hey, we're here, come and see us, see if learning a language and learning about cultures is something that you would want to do.
Ty Davidson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The World Languages and Cultures Department studies languages including Spanish, Japanese, Russian, Latin, and Greek mythology. It's located on the 2nd floor of Wright Hall. And the World Languages Department isn't the only one to bring new things to the university. The Arboretum is preparing to welcome an on-site observation hive. Ty Davidson also has this story.
It's an attempt to create some buzz around the importance of honeybee protection. Soon, the Arboretum will open a honeybee hive to teach students and the community about bees' role in nature and the dangers they face.
Many pollinators are disappearing, and we depend on pollinators for most of the food that we eat. So we're going to put this in to kind of help boost awareness of pollinators and their importance and the problems that they're facing right now.
The most prominent threat to honeybees is pests and predators that kill and eat them. That's something often uncontrollable by man.
They've really declined in numbers, like 60 to 70% of the honeybees have disappeared over the last, say, 14 years.
Another major danger to the honeybee population is much more easily controlled.
Probably the second highest threat to the honeybee is the pesticides that we use on our plants. So we're going to try to maintain a low pesticide use around here.
In addition to pointing out the dangers of pesticides and increasing protection for honeybees, the Arboretum is also placing a heavy focus on teaching the public about why bees must be taken care of.
The goal with the observation hive here is to provide a platform that we can bring people to and see for themselves that honeybees are very important and kind of get a better understanding of how a hive operates, what they do for our community and for our ecosystem.
Ingram told TrojanVision that they hope to have the observation hive up and operational around March 2026, right around the time conditions are best for the pollinators. Ty Davidson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
It's one of Troy University's most anticipated traditions, a night where confidence, talent, and Trojan pride shine brightest. It's called the Miss Troy University Pageant. 14 contestants stepped onto the stage this year, but by the end of the evening, only one walked away with the title of Miss Troy University 2026. Caden Walker has the story.
Audience members say it was a night filled with glitz, grace, and school spirit inside Troy University's Crosby Theater, where 14 young women competed for the title of Miss Troy University 2026. Each contestant took the stage to showcase their talents, confidence, and Trojan pride. But only one could take home the crown.
Your new Miss Troy University 2026 is Anna Grace Tucker.
I don't think I'm going to sleep tonight. I'm probably going to sleep with the crown on and the sash. And I'm just excited to do my duties as Miss Troy this year.
We're so thrilled about Anna Grace Tucker. I mean, we know that she's been to Miss Alabama before, and so it'll be comfortable for her. I'm just really looking forward to working with Anna Grace and preparing her and having her be an amazing representative for Troy University.
I'm so proud of her and all the other 13 contestants. It was a fun experience, a growth experience for all. But this university believes in its students. It believes certainly that this is a wonderful way for them to prepare for the next step.
Although those next steps are important, Tucker's steps right after receiving her crown are a little more down to earth.
I want to go to Mexican with my family so we can just talk about this over chips and salsa.
Anna Grace's next performance will be on the statewide stage representing Troy University at Miss Alabama. From Claudia Crosby Theater, Caden Walker, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Staying with other spotlights, public radio host Carolyn Hutchison has been recognized with a prestigious award. Simon Brown has more about that honor and what it means to Hutchison and her colleagues.
Troy Public Radio's Carolyn Hutchison is now the proud recipient of one of the highest honors a broadcaster can receive. It's the Best Public Affairs Programming Award from the Alabama Broadcasters Association. Hutchison says the award isn't just about her, but gives credit to her guests and listeners.
It means I have great guests, and I'm able to follow my curiosity into a lot of avenues, always thinking about the listeners. And I'm a consumer advocate. I'm thinking about them. They're facing an economy that's uncertain. They're facing other uncertainties. So I like to program in that direction to help them. And then I also like to explore the arts. We've been able to do that under the public affairs umbrella.
Although Hutchison is unwilling to take credit for the award, Troy Public Radio Director Kyle Gassett says he owes his career to her.
As somebody who represents Troy Public Radio, there's nobody better, really. And she's part of the reason why I joined Troy Public Radio years ago, because she interviewed me when I moved to the area.
Hutchison says she's learned to pursue her curiosity and wants her listeners to do the same.
They're learning too, along with me. So we're learning together. And it's all about education. Troy University is about education. I consider my program really an educating type program. So to me, it all goes together.
This isn't the first time Hutchison's program has received an award. Her program has also won awards from the U.S. Department of the Treasury and the Department of Public Safety. Simon Brown, Troy, TrojanVision News.
In Focus with Carolyn Hutchison airs on Troy Public Radio at 12:40 p.m. Monday through Thursday and at 12:45 p.m. on Friday. You can also listen to In Focus anywhere you listen to your podcasts. And speaking of Troy Public Radio, earlier this year, Congress rescinded $1.1 billion worth of funding to the Corporation for Public Broadcasting that ended federal support of national public radio. NPR's member stations, including Troy Public Radio, depend on federal aid for a large part of their operating revenue. Nathaniel Bliss has the details on how these cuts affect TPR and what NPR is doing to address those issues.
Vote. The yeas are 214, the nays are 212. The bill is passed.
The Corporation for Public Broadcasting has lost all federal support after Congress voted to rescind funding in July, and so has NPR and its over 1,000 member stations as a result. One of the many stations affected is Troy University's own station, Troy Public Radio.
$240,000 is typically what we get for 2 years, so it's $120 for each year, and that's about a fifth of our revenue. But we're luckier than most stations that we have enough support coming in from our listeners and from the support that we get from the university. That's really helpful.
Despite the cuts to federal funding, TPR doesn't expect any immediate changes.
Because we have the majority of our support coming in from our listeners, we were able to secure our current schedule.
However, not all programs are as fortunate as Troy Public Radio, with many stations across the country already feeling the impact.
Penn State, I think, gave up their station. There are a number of stations in rural areas in particular. There are a number of stations in places that serve Native American populations. The number of stations, the CPB actually was about 50 or 60% of their revenue. So that really puts them into a precarious place.
To address these issues, NPR has taken action to reduce financial strain on its member stations, giving out what it calls an emergency rescission discount. Troy Public Radio has received a $52,000 discount for the upcoming year. NPR is also looking at making changes to the fee model itself, as well as changing how the funding system is operated.
I think there will be some changes. I don't think anybody can tell right now what those exactly will be.
NPR member stations, especially those that are in financial danger, can also apply for a public bridge fund for additional funding. Nathaniel Bliss, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Despite the loss of funding, Troy Public Radio has added multiple new programs, including Sounds of the Stage in partnership with Troy University's Theater Department and the Tropolitan Above the Fold. And speaking of Above the Fold, it's a new way for listeners to get news from Troy's student newspaper without ever having to visit a paper stand. Layla Reynolds shows us how it works.
This is the Tropolitan Above the Fold, where we bring stories from the pages of Troy University student newspaper to the airwaves of Troy Public Radio.
That was the sound of Troy Public Radio host Joey Hudson listening to an unreleased episode of Above the Fold. Hudson is the producer of the podcast and the man behind the original idea.
I wanted to take the hard work that students are already doing with the newspaper, and they do excellent work as well, and I wanted to see if we could translate that with minimal effort on the part of the students, given busy schedules, and put something together that they could put in their portfolios and help them get jobs.
Tropolitan faculty advisor Hannah Cooper says the podcast is an opportunity for student journalists to expand their skill sets.
Part of working in journalism, no matter if it's print or if it's TV or if it's audio, you have to be able to do a little bit of everything. And so it's been really fun to watch my students kind of develop skills outside of just the print landscape.
Above the Fold is just one of many student podcasts that Troy Public Radio has to offer.
Students can do. This semester alone, we've had more student podcasts in production than I think we've ever had. We have Making Waves, we have The Talk of Troy, but it's just been very liberating in giving these students that are so capable more avenues to pursue fulfilling work and add to their portfolios again.
Hudson says episodes of Above the Fold are released monthly but could start to be released twice a month. Layla Reynolds, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Above the Fold can be found by visiting Troy Public Radio's website at today.troy.edu/podcasts. We now leave the radio station to go to the TV one, as this semester was a special time for us here at Trojan Vision. 50 years ago, on October 1st, 1975, TSU TV held its first nightly newscast. Now, 50 years and a name change later, the current members of Troy Trojan Vision News are celebrating the 50th birthday. Ty Davidson has more.
In the 50 years that Trojan Vision has been in operation, it has seen and taught many generations of student journalists. As for the current group of students, they say they're grateful for all of the opportunities that the program has allowed them.
I've met so many friends, I've met so many cool people, and I've learned so much. I've been able to cover so many stories like the 2025 Selma Jubilee March, and I've also covered several crime stories, several political stories, and I've really developed my style as a journalist.
I was already planning to make this my career, but this helped me realize this was the right career choice for me. And now I'm here every day. I'm covering anything from sports to what's happening in the city to what's happening on campus.
I'll go into the real world with experience and understanding how it works, so I can be ahead already in whatever job I go to.
The work experience isn't the only thing that this current generation appreciates about the program. A few others say the Trojan Vision's legacy lies in the community it creates just as much as the opportunities it presents.
I've made really close friends and have learned a lot about working in news. It's just a place where I can come and be comfortable with everyone here.
I immediately clicked with people, and that has always been very hard for me, especially before college. This group of people really just accepted me, and I found love in journalism.
And it is that same community and love for journalism that Trojan Vision hopes to instill in its students for many more years to come.
Still to come on Troy Trojan Visions the week that was, medieval times comes to Troy, but not in the way you might think. That story's on its way, so stay tuned.
It takes more than ambition to make a difference. It takes something real. It takes real work, breakthroughs and push-throughs. It takes real vision that shapes leaders and real support that empowers you in all ways. To spark change, to build legacies, to make a real difference. Troy University. Always real, always Troy.
Welcome back. Since 2013, there have been over 300 reports of gunfire on college campuses. That's part of the reason why the Troy University Police Department has used this semester to share its mass attack guidance. Caden Walker has more.
Faculty and staff received an email from Troy University Police Department. It's their new campaign, Run, Hide, Fight. It's geared towards the safety of all on campus. The department says the goal isn't to cause fear, but to help the campus community feel prepared.
During a time of crisis, you can have the best made plans ahead of time, but you may not be able to think of it, right away. So run, hide, fight. If we're far enough away from the danger, run, get farther away. If we're not far enough away, say it happens to be close to where we are, then we want you to hide. And then if you are danger close, as in the threat is imminent and it's right where you are, we want you to remember to fight.
Sometimes receiving information such as this can be scary. Trojan Vision gathered students' reaction to whether they were prepared or scared.
I'm not too confident, like 100%, but I'm pretty sure I could handle it, I guess.
As an RA, I have training on run, hide, fight. And with that knowledge, I make sure my residents know about that as well. One thing that stood out to me when I did read over it is that you pick from one of those things that would be best if you are in that situation.
We also gathered students' reaction on their ability to run, hide, or fight.
I do not think. I would probably be pretty panicked, pretty stressed out if I were to see someone, and I'd probably have someone drag me off because I would be in a frozen state.
And for more information on Run, Hide, Fight, students can check their Troy University email. Caden Walker, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Staying with Run, Hide, Fight, Troy University Police held several instructional meetings over the past few months to help students, faculty, and staff learn more about that instruction. Here's that story.
At the start of this semester, TUPD released its guidance for what students should do during a school shooting. The plan is called Run, Hide, Fight and tells students what to do during an active shooter situation.
First and foremost, if you hear gunfire, you would want to find yourself a way out, an escape plan, an escape route of some kind or another. And it really is going to depend on the proximity of the gunfire. If it's anywhere near you, then you have to evaluate which of those options. Can I safely run? Should I hide? Or is it time to fight?
According to Beaudry, plans for an active shooter drill have been in the works with Troy's administration for months.
There are conversations that have taken place between myself and the administration of the university. We're working on that. We think it's important. There's no specific timeline on it right now because there are a lot of preparations that have to be done before then. We can sit here and say, let's exercise a plan, but we have to have some documentation of the plan first. You know, if we were to exercise tomorrow, I think we'd be a little bit premature just because the plan is not fully set in stone.
Even though the plans for an active shooter aren't ready, Beaudry says TUPD is.
When it comes to the active shooter or mass casualty type drill, our officers are practicing more than once a year on how to respond to these situations. So that's a major piece of the puzzle, is that we know that our first responders are prepared.
Even though there is no timeline on the active shooter drill, students are still encouraged to follow Run, Hide, Fight if the situation arises. Simon Brown, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Staying with safety news, this semester, the Student Government Association passed a resolution to promote campus safety. It came after weeks of increased conversations about how to keep students, faculty, and staff safe. Simon Brown has this story.
This resolution has passed.
That was the sound of Resolution 70-001 being passed. SGA Executive Vice President Jada McQueen says the resolution was prompted by concerns from Troy's student body, as well as Troy University Police Department's proposed safety measures.
We were asked what we plan to do about, the events that happened in September regarding a shooting. And of course, the Troy University Police Department are experts on the situation. We have a strong partnership with them, and we believe that their requests for enhanced security and safety features could help protect our students and help deter emergency situations.
The resolution includes suggestions like metal detectors, improved surveillance systems, and bag policies.
And whereas these policies have been proven at other universities to increase safety and promote a positive event experience, and whereas proactive investment in safety measures demonstrates Troy University's commitment to the protection of and comfort of all individuals attending campus events.
Troy University Police Chief George Beaudry, who has been a supporter of updating Troy's security measures, is glad to see that progress is being made.
I truly appreciate that the Student Government Association is taking a stand and trying to help push through some of these measures that we discussed. I think it's important that the administration hears these things, not just from me.
It's important to note that TUPD's recommended safety measures haven't been implemented. The SGA's resolution only formally recommends Troy's administration to consider those measures. Another big story of the semester revolved around the government shutdown and its impact on those who rely on food assistance programs. Although the shutdown is now over, an on-campus service organization is still working to help those that struggle with food insecurity. Ty Davidson has the story.
The longest government shutdown in history has ended, but many Americans are still missing their SNAP benefits. Troy University's Campus Kitchens has been providing food support locally for years, but recently its operation has taken on an even greater importance.
We know that food is now more of a critical resource than it ever has been. And so this is a way that we routinely serve our community, but we know that right now it's critically important.
Student volunteers meet every Thursday to pack balanced meals for the community. These meals are made from leftover food from Troy University's dining hall. And Friday, the food is delivered to service centers across the area. One volunteer says she's grateful for the opportunity to be able to help people at any time, not just in times of higher need.
We're only here for 4 years, and that's 4 years that we can do something for the Troy community. Volunteering is just a very rewarding experience because you get to help someone that otherwise might not have gotten that help.
According to Cochran, passion for service is common among volunteers.
We find that students really appreciate the ability to give back and be a part of their community. It helps them connect to their community as well. A lot of the students who volunteer with us have 1, 2, 3 jobs, and they find a way to serve and to fit this in.
Congress's passing of the Big Beautiful Bill over the summer set new, more restrictive limits and requirements for SNAP eligibility. Those limits were supposed to go into effect November 1st. Now that the government is open again, those restrictions are in effect and funding is being distributed. Ty Davidson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
In related news, one of this year's homecoming competitions took on greater meaning due to the shutdown. Ty Davidson reports.
With the government shutdown just 2 days away from breaking the record of the longest shutdown in U.S. history, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program or SNAP benefits are at risk. At Troy University, the fraternities and sororities held the Can Castle Food Drive for a fun homecoming week competition, but it comes at a perfect time to help those who are at even greater risk of going hungry.
You hear food insecurity thrown around a lot, but you don't really grasp what the significance is. But with the government shutdown, we're able to tangibly see that and see where it's impacting people. So it kind of gives us a little bit of a heart posture change, and we're able to go into this with a service mindset that we're actually seeing it benefit more people.
In the event, sororities and fraternities used donated canned goods to see who could build the best castles. The food was then donated to the Trojan Pantry, a university resource located in Trojan Village 200 that gives students and families facing food insecurity access to free, shelf-stable foods.
Our college students need our help, and this is a way for us to give back and help them specifically. And so it's really cool because these organizations can all come together and work for one common goal, whereas it's a week where we're competing against each other, but we're all working together to help out this group of people who really needs us.
TUPD's Sergeant Rachel Farmer pointed out that while right now is a time of extra need, food insecurity is a constant concern, and donations are always needed.
In a time where things are about to get cut off, you never know when someone's going to be in need, even if you're not in that. So every single donation counts always, but with things changing a little bit, you know, this event is obviously going to make a big difference.
Ty Davidson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
In other top stories, this past September marked the 24th anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks. This year, Troy University ROTC members, students, and community members walked to remember the lives that were taken that day. Tyron Robinson takes us to Veterans Memorial Stadium, where emotions and respect ran high.
This morning, members of the Troy community gathered at Veterans Memorial Stadium to remember the events of 9/11.
Climbing the 40 stairs, your legs hurt, you're in pain, you're wanting to stop, but it's because of the greater cause. Hey, I'm doing this because of those that lost their lives.
Troy Chancellor Jack Hawkins shares what he hopes students may gain from this tradition.
I hope that the young people who do represent our future, and particularly those wonderful students who are participating in this event, will carry from this day a reminder of the price each one of us should be willing to pay.
This event shows that towns across America, including Troy, continue to remember this day in American history.
No surprise to me that Troy University and Troy, Alabama is this patriotic. I feel it every time I go. This is a city that I've been stationed in that I feel no shame walking around in my uniform.
The JROTC program will continue to hold its annual event in order to remember and honor those who made the sacrifice on that day, 9/11/2001. Here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, I'm Tyron Robinson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Did you know that 3 Troy professors experienced 9/11 firsthand? Every September, the Sorrell College of Business puts on a lecture for students to hear those professors' stories. Riley Williams takes us there.
Thursday, students listened as 3 Troy University professors shared their firsthand accounts of 9/11. Stan Blankenship was in Manhattan when the World Trade Center was destroyed.
The thing I remember most vividly that day was all the jet fuel in the air. Everything was just so eerily quiet. The dust was everywhere, and everyone we passed on the streets just looked like they were in a trance. After the event, there was no cars on the roads. There was no air travel above us.
After the lecture, the panel took questions from the audience. A main point of discussion centered around conspiracy theories and their impact on survivors. Freshman Addison Quattlebaum comes from a military background. She says she understands how disrespectful misinformation can be to those in service.
I didn't really know the impact of conspiracy theories on them, and it's disheartening to know that people think that way. I think that was the worst thing to hear.
Blankenship says he doesn't want students to forget what happened on 9/11.
History often repeats. This type of tragedy will happen again. I hope it doesn't. We see the results of that, and so many things in our world have changed simply because of the tragic events on September 11th. So evil exists. Don't forget that, and just remember that good can prevail over evil.
Riley Williams, Troy, TrojanVision News.
It was a music-filled break, and coming up, we're going to go to some of the biggest performances of the semester. We'll have that story and more when we return.
So many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Wake up.
Wake up to the world.
To the marvels. The mayhem.
The music.
Wake up to the wows. The woes.
The wonder.
Wake up to the commotion. To the beauty.
To the humanity.
To the hope. Wake up every morning, fully awake.
NPR Morning Edition.
Weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on Troy Public Radio.
Welcome back. It's been 60 years since the first tune was played by Troy University's Sound of the South. How have things changed along the way? Molly Griswold has the answers.
Saturday, Troy University's Sound of the South celebrated its 60th anniversary with new and old friends by hosting alumni.
I'm so excited. I'm a little bit older, so it's difficult, but it's so fun to be back, and it just brings back the best memories. I'm just thankful for the opportunity, and thanks for the support, and how awesome is it that it's been 60 years of Sound of the South.
Over the years SOTS has been playing, the band has developed traditions that both fans and alumni enjoy.
I think pregame is such a fun tradition, and I'm so glad they still do it, and fanfare at the beginning of halftime. I'm glad they still do that.
One fan favorite event is themed Thursday night rehearsals.
Yes, it's wonderful. We've been going strong, and we're just the best band in the land.
It's not just the traditions. Students and alumni say the connections in making music are what's truly special.
I just love that knowing I made lifelong friends. I'll be able to talk to these people forever. The connections I made are just unmatched.
Being able to perform for everybody on the football field during games, that is extremely fulfilling to me.
Whether you're a fan, current band member, or alumni, the SOTS wants you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the next 60 years of the Sound of the South. Molly Griswold, Troy TrojanVision News.
A recent performance by the Troy University Symphony Band filled Claudia Crosby Theater with music as the ensemble performed its latest concert. Kaden Walker takes us to that performance.
Hours of practice, both in rehearsals and in sectionals, came together on stage. For the musicians, it was the result of weeks of preparation and dedication.
We spend multiple days a week rehearsing as a full band, and then also we spent time outside of class doing sectionals so that we can work on our individual parts so we can prepare for the concert.
In the audience, family and friends showered their support for the performers.
I thought it was fantastic. The music was fun. I love the song choices. It kind of had this whole street vibe, like San Francisco, musical, kind of 1930s vibe to it. I was coming to see a tenor saxophone player, my son Austin Horn, and his roommates were up there.
And musicians say that emotions were high for them as well.
I was very excited to perform, also a little bit nervous, but it was fun music, great music, so I had a great time.
And as the final notes rang out, many performers and audience members left with a sense of pride in the music and tradition of the John M. Long School of Music. From Claudia Crosby Theater, Caden Walker, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The Troy University Jazz Ensemble also got in on the action this semester. Ty Davidson takes us to that group's performance.
After months of preparation, the Troy University Jazz Ensemble played its first show of the semester. Although it usually takes some time for the band to start putting on shows, one member says the preparation time is well worth the wait.
I think it's like more time to cook in the oven, you know? When you have a lot of these tunes or collegiate level, professional level, it takes a longer time to prepare them right, so you just gotta make sure you feel good about them before you go in. It was rusty, but once you got in the groove, it felt good.
The band's director, Dr. Dave Camwell, attributes his students' growth to long, in-depth practice and dedication to their musical journey.
Well, a lot of it is about expectations. You know, we have the history of the group, which has been very high level, and we want to meet that or surpass it. And so I'm very proud of our progression, and we're just going to keep going up, up, up.
The solo improvisational nature of jazz allows Camwell to test his students and push them to stand out in every piece, with the reward of time in the spotlight.
The charts will have parts that I think really fit one player, and if I don't think it's a good fit, then of course, frankly, we won't be playing the chart. But I think it's also important to give people their opportunity to have a solo, because improvisation is such an important part of jazz.
Camwell believes improvisation elevates his students' work and also demonstrates the beauty of jazz.
The thing I like about jazz is it can become so personal, and you know, you can very easily put your own sort of emotional stamp on the music, which I think is very powerful for artists. There's so much more freedom to it in terms of personal expression, and I think that's very rewarding.
Now that the first show of the semester is in the books, the ensemble looks to their next performance for another way to continue moving up. Ty Davidson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Troy University Choir's concert chorale also showed off its hard work during its fall concert. Here's that story.
Weeks of hard work and dedication led up to Wednesday night's concert chorale performance. The performance was entitled, "How Beloved Is Your Dwelling Place." The night opened with a dramatic scene of surround sound as the choir walked in and surrounded the audience. Two soloists sing at the front of the room as other choir members supported sound on the outsides. We spoke with Tori Henson, one of the soloists, as she recalls the moment.
It was a bit nerve-wracking, but it was also exciting just to kind of be part of setting the show.
The concert's main theme was all about home. Choir director Dr. Michael J. Mills selected various music styles, songs that all tied back to home.
We find home in various ways, whether it's through a place or through the people that we're with or the things that we do in life.
The night continued with Take Me Home Country Roads, arranged by Dr. Mills. A classic that turned out to be a fan favorite.
The well-tempered clavier playing underneath that was really nice to hear.
Jensen says for all of those in attendance, it was a night to remember. From John M. Long Hall, Caden Walker, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Music can transport listeners around the world, and that's what happened when music combined with food and games during International Education Week's Taste of the World. Ty Davidson takes us there.
Jiho Park is a South Korean student from Jeonnam Physical Education High School who has spent the last 2 weeks studying in Troy. She and 15 other South Korean students arrived last week to tour each of Troy's academic colleges and experience International Education Week.
I get to know the real life of American students here, and I think that was fun. It's cool to know different thoughts and perspectives, and it's fun to teach them about Korean culture.
Part of that teaching was done during the International Education Week Taste of the World. Games, customs, clubs, and even an international baking competition all aimed to immerse students in new cultures.
It's more for them. They wanted a competition. At first we weren't going to do a bake-off, but the students were like, "Teacher, who is best?" And I'm like, well, we could ask.
Noe says international students' excitement for sharing their culture was a driving force in the creation of the event.
They really want to show their culture. You know, they miss home like you would if you were. And so it's a chance to kind of show off and celebrate their culture.
Troy University's Study Abroad director, Sarah McKenzie, says events like Taste of the World benefit domestic students by giving them the passion and connections to study abroad.
They get to meet our international students, so if they meet a student from Korea and they decide they want to go to Korea, they already know someone there. We always say it's not what you know, it's who you know. So you could go over there even if it's just to visit, and you might have a free place to stay.
McKenzie also encourages students to ask themselves how different these cultures really are.
I have found that people are people everywhere. We have the same problems, we have same lives, just in different areas of the world, different food and different languages.
Ty Davidson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
That wasn't the only cultural celebration of the semester. The Trojan Center ballrooms were filled with Chinese and American students for a night of performance, dinner, and cultural interaction. Ty Davidson takes us to this year's Mid-Autumn Festival.
The Mid-Autumn Festival is a day often compared to Thanksgiving, in which people get off work, dedicate a day to spending time with their family, enjoy performances, lots of food, and appreciate the world around them. At Troy University, students that are a part of the 1-2-1 program bring these traditional Chinese festivities to their American peers.
I believe tonight's show is a perfect, and the most direct way to show the Trojan nation that what China really looks like.
The 1-2-1 program is a partnership between American universities and Chinese universities that allows Chinese students to spend their first year of college at home, the next 2 years in America, and the final year back in China before ending their program with a degree from both universities. One Chinese student in the 1-2-1 program says it isn't the easiest switch to make, but he believes it will help him grow.
I'm very shy. I never do to be the host before, and you can see my English is not very perfect, right? There are a lot of challenges in your life. That's just a small case.
Troy's assistant director of China operations says the program not only helps students grow, but also helps them experience a diverse blend of culture.
The young people of today will be the future business and political leaders of tomorrow. And so I think that since they have this opportunity to experience other cultures, having exchanges like that between these two great countries is beneficial for both sides.
Troy University was the first school in America to offer the 1-2-1 dual degree program and recently celebrated the 25th anniversary of its beginning. Ty Davidson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Coming up, students got a surprise as they walked across campus during a thunderstorm. That story and more is on the way, so stay tuned.
I was afraid of that.
Well, guess it's time to get you fixed.
Your pets will start fooling around sooner than you think.
Go on, get out of here!
Accidental litters lead to millions killed in shelters each year. Help prevent more. Fix at month 4.
The Troy TrojanVision app is now available for smartphones and smart TVs. Download it from the Apple App Store, Google Play Store, Fire TV, and Roku to stream live Troy TrojanVision News shows. Listen to Troy Public Radio. Watch video on demand and more. Get the Troy TrojanVision app today and stay informed anytime, anywhere.
This semester had people shouting "Great Scott" when a lightning strike hit close to Troy's quad, sending students running for cover, authorities on the way to campus, and rumors being spread on social media. Kaden Walker talks to students who saw the direct result of that strike.
I was leaving for my communications class in Patterson, and the second I step outside, I hear this big boom.
After the strike, Troy University police were called to the scene when smoke was reported in a classroom. Students say the response was immediate. At least 4 fire engines, an ambulance, and multiple police cars arrived on the quad.
We received a call that after the lightning strike, there was a projector in one of the rooms that began smoking. So officers and fire department responded.
In the meantime, rumors of a building fire begin to appear on social media.
I'm just kind of wondering, like, was the building actually on fire, or was it just a yik-yak rumor?
It appears that probably a lightning strike pushed the power surge through the facility, and there's no major damage.
No major damage outside of the building. TrojanVision spoke to Savannah Edgar as she tells us what was going on inside.
Everyone was like really quiet, and it started getting really warm in the building. Like the AC was out and it wasn't working. I know all the cell service dropped, so I couldn't see my messages or anything. I got a text that said, "Don't go in the building. We're evacuating. Like, you're not supposed to be in there right now."
The smoke smells pretty strong. That was the first thing I noticed when I walked by. It does kind of smell like food cooking, for sure.
Following approval from authorities, physical plant staff were called in to inspect the building and make sure it was safe. No injuries have been reported, and officials say that the building is back to normal operations. Caden Walker, Troy, TrojanVision News.
That last story might have sent students running scared, but our next one is downright spooky, as reporter Liliana Heaton takes us to this year's Troy-a-Palooza.
Things got a little spooky at the 2025 annual Troy-Palooza. Students lined up for free food, live music, and a chance to show off their Halloween costumes.
This is honestly one of my favorite events because it's normally always around Halloween time, so you always get to see all sorts of people's costumes before Halloween, and it's just a ton of fun getting to listen to such great music.
From hot dogs and hamburgers to funnel cakes and fried Oreos, there were plenty of treats to go around. But not everyone was here for the food.
I'm actually dressed as a like medieval ranger sort of thing from an old book I used to read called Ranger's Apprentice.
The costume contest brought out a variety of costumes, from the likes of superheroes to spooky skeletons and plenty of fright in between. But the real treat of the night wasn't candy or costumes. It was Populous taking center stage.
Everybody here is just so supportive. Like, I would get out there and I performed my original, and nobody knew it, but everybody was cheering. And I just love how interactive and energetic and supportive everybody is here.
Troy-Palooza brought the tricks, the treats, and the tunes, all in the true Trojan style. Liliana Heaton, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Staying with seasonal traditions on campus, a long-standing Christmas tradition at Troy University made its return this year, this time bigger than before. Tyron Robinson has the story.
Here on the beautiful campus of Troy University, members of the Trojan family have gathered for the annual Christmas tree lighting, where they have decided to bring the holidays in Trojan style.
I love the Christmas season. It means family and traditions. I love the traditions that Troy has here with the tree lighting, and to be able to be a part of it was really special.
The big night was filled with special appearances from the Nutcracker, several Christmas carols, and big smiles all around.
Yeah, well, I think that the Christmas time is some time that everybody gets to celebrate things that they love and people that they love.
The excitement and holiday cheer from the crowd throughout the night was at an all-time high. Students and faculty were also recognized and applauded for their several contributions to the big event.
It's such a sweet honor, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity, and never thought that it would be something on this scale, so it's really sweet to get to do it.
The event demonstrated that the holiday season at Troy is about love, family, and tradition.
Enjoy your time for your Christmas break with your family. Also, to just enjoy your time and the traditions that you have with your family. I know I'm excited to go back and talk to my family about the school year and what Troy means to me.
The university hopes that the ceremony will encourage students to remember the reason for the season and continue the tradition here at Troy. Tyron Robinson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Following that tree lighting ceremony, guests were invited just across University Avenue to Troy's Claudia Crosby Theater for not one, but 2 concerts. Caden Walker has that story.
On Monday night, the seats behind me were filled as the Troy University Concert and Symphonic Bands held their semester concerts. The sound of the horns, the crash of the cymbals, and of course the dramatic effects of auxiliary percussion. They all came together on stage for what audience members are calling a night well spent.
Each solo that was played I thought was phenomenal. I really enjoyed listening to it. Usually, I hate to say it, concerts will put me to sleep, but this one did keep me awake the whole time, and I really did enjoy it.
Ball isn't the only one who thought the performance was a success. The symphonic band director, Dr. Jerry Ann Larson, says that she's proud of the musicians as well.
The music they were playing was super hard. It was very challenging, and they did a great job with it. So getting to see them progress throughout the semester has been really fulfilling.
Instrumentalists say that the great success did not come easy.
It's crazy how we put hours and hours of practice in for a performance that people only get to hear one time ever.
For senior Erin Wilson, it's her last time stepping on stage to perform at Troy.
Oh, it's been so bittersweet. It's hitting little moments and little points that are kind of like, oh, I'm almost there. Like I have almost made it to me actually getting my diploma. But it's also remembering that, oh, these times that I've had, they're still going to be here, but I am leaving them behind. So it's very bittersweet.
And the night closed with a standing ovation for the ensemble's hard work. From Claudia Crosby Theater, Caden Walker, Troy, TrojanVision News.
An annual holiday story gets a new twist thanks to the Theater and Dance Department's latest production, Clara's Nutcracker. Dawson Parks has more.
Troy's Theater and Dance Department held their dress rehearsal for Clara's Nutcracker, a new adaptation of the ballet. Dance lecturer and choreographer Justin Boyd says the production has been in the making for months.
Starting in around May, we really started to plan, and then over the summer, really started to churn ideas, and then everything became kinetic and physical in August.
Students performing in the ballet are excited for the production to finally take shape.
I'm a little nervous, but I'm really excited. The costumes make everything so much more real, and you have so much more real reactions.
This is the first time a lot of us are seeing the show like all together, so it's nice being able to see the whole story come together, and you're able to just see all the hard work that everybody's been put in.
During the production, many students were able to work outside of their comfort zone.
I struggle with acting, and so being in this department pushes me, theater and dance. So I like reactions to things and like how big reactions are.
The dance side is a very different world, and it's really nice being able to kind of step into that side and learn a lot of different things that I wouldn't necessarily learn in the theater world.
Students are able to watch the event from the 20th to the 22nd as well as December 2nd for Sounds of the Season. Dawson Parks, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And that is a look back at the fall semester. We hope you join us again in the spring for our next installment of Semester in Review. For myself and the rest of the crew here at Troy TrojanVision, thanks for joining us. We hope you have a great holiday and a happy new year. We'll see you again in the middle of January. See you soon.
It takes more than ambition to make a difference. It takes something real. It takes real work, breakthroughs and push-throughs, and an opportunity that changes everything. It takes real vision that shapes leaders, and real support that empowers you in all ways. It takes that real defining moment. That moment you could have stopped, but you didn't. It takes the real you, becoming who you were meant to be, discovering who you've always been. So everything you learn here prepares you to lead out there, to spark change, to build legacies, to make a real difference. Troy University. Always real, always Troy.
The Troy TrojanVision app is now available for smartphones and smart TVs. Download it from the Apple App Store, Google Play Store, Fire TV, and Roku to stream live Troy TrojanVision News shows. Listen to Troy Public Radio, watch video on demand, and more. Get the Troy TrojanVision app today and stay informed anytime, anywhere.